first thought is like, oh my God, when is she getting married? And she goes, I held myself back in that moment and just enjoyed the moment that we had together. And so that is really how beautiful it could be to be in the moment, in the presence of one another with whatever we're doing, really paying attention in this way, involved in the moment with our five senses, all of our being. That's what it means to be in the moment. And, it's pretty interesting because research actually shows that we are happier when we're paying attention to the present. And it says that even if the moment is not pleasant, our underlying happiness is still there. So I find that really interesting, this underlying happiness that can be there even if the moment is not pleasant. And a lot of the times, even myself, I find myself skipping the moment if it's difficult and I just don't want to deal with it. Maybe I'll just think about, my last trip, my last vacation is so much better, or always thinking that if I get this, I'll be happier. If I get that, I'll be happier. And really coming back to this moment and knowing that I have everything here, everything I need, and really enjoying that moment, which also brings a certain sense of gratitude, which aids to our well-being and is so nurturing and compassionate. So there is this concept called the hedonic theory that says that despite, this is pretty interesting, despite our accomplishment, any accomplishments that we might have, so people in general will naturally adapt back to their set point of happiness in the long term. So this is what we call when we're chasing after things, thinking that that's going to make us happy. I don't know if you notice this, but in my experience, every time I've chased after something, is once I get it, I'm happy. I'm really happy, but just for a little bit. And then it kind of goes back to just my normal state of happiness. That overwhelmed and joy eventually just kind of goes away. And now here I am again. So this is what we call the hedonic treadmill when we're chasing after things. And once we get them, we go back to this. So it's very important to cultivate this sense of presence in this moment, because otherwise we're just looking at external happiness and other things to get us happy that will give us momentarily happiness only. And so by being in the moment, we can actually tune into our own resources, our own well-being, our own way of being happy. So the idea with this is that we can actually have this and be with our experience in this moment through our senses. So this is like hearing, right? Tasting, sensing, smelling. So all this can really aid to our sense of being here in the moment. The body is already here. It's a mind that is not here, that is just in thought. So just bringing our sense. So that's what we're going to practice just now in this moment. I'm going to invite you to just maybe settle into a pose that feels comfortable for you, but it's not rigid, it's not tight, it's not tense, but just comfortable, but at the same time keeping that the sense of alertness, setting the intention to really be here in this moment, to really be with your experience exactly as it is. And I understand if some of our experiences in this moment are not exactly pleasant, but just knowing that just for this moment, maybe we can turn towards as a sense, as an act of self-compassion, and as an act of kindness towards ourselves. So as you do this, I invite you to either open your eyes, keep them open, or close them. If your eyes are open, just make sure you lower your gaze as to give the mind a message that we're looking inward. So just allowing yourself to close your eyes gently. And then just in this moment, allowing the sense of being here, acknowledging this body, allowing this body to just really gently, safely settle into the surface, holding you. And if you're noticing any agitation or tension, just notice it for the moment. And if there's tightness anywhere in the body, Just seeing if you can soften up around it. And by that, I mean, it's not a militant, this has got to change. It's more of a just a very tender, kind of supportive looking at, there is tension. And then there's this sense of acceptance, which is acknowledging the tension. And then after this acknowledgement, maybe shifting your pose, adjusting. This is the moment to do that until you're completely comfortable here. And just noticing the breath, feeling the body breathing in this way. Perhaps you can sense the breath in the body, maybe in the belly, the chest, the back of the throat. Maybe you can sense temperature in the breath, noticing the temperature as you inhale and the temperature as you exhale. And there is absolutely nothing that you need to do at this moment. However you're breathing is perfectly okay. We might notice a tendency to control the breath as we bring our attention to our breathing, just noticing that. And whenever you're ready, just allowing the body to settle, allowing your attention to just kind of ease away, knowing that the body will breathe without any help. It does it all on its own. And as the mind settles, your attention rests right here in this body. And just noticing all sensations here. Maybe numbness, tingling, temperature, coolness, warmth. Whatever the moment is bringing, just acknowledging it, experiencing the sensation in the body. Whenever you notice that the mind is wandered, just with a big smile because you caught yourself, this is a mindful moment, an accomplishment in some way, without holding on too tight to this, but just smilingly bringing your attention right back to this body and the sensations in the body, heaviness, numbness. Just settling the attention here. This is the moment. This is what the moment brings. You might find it pleasant or maybe even unpleasant. If you find anything that is unpleasant, any sensations that might be unpleasant, please do take care of yourself. You're always welcome to take a breath or two. Acknowledge how you feel, what you're sensing. And then, with all due attention and the permission that you give to yourself, just please do shift your pose. And then come back and join whenever you're ready. This is your time. This is your class. I'm just here guiding you. And there might be a chance that there's no sensations in the body right now to be noticed, and that's okay. I'm just noticing maybe the palms of your hands and seeing if there's anything happening here, and even maybe the absence of sensation altogether, just noticing that. Just arriving at this moment exactly as it is. There's no expectation, there's nothing that needs to happen. We're just here noticing what's already here with deep kindness towards this moment, embracing the moment entirely. Now, seeing if you can just shift your attention to any sounds that might be around. What are the sounds that are in this moment? Maybe the sound of your own breath. Maybe the sounds around the place you're in or outside on the streets. And you might notice that as we turn towards sound, even then, the mind is making sense of sound, labeling or noticing what it is, trying to figure it out. I invite you to just allow sound to come to you without looking for anything in particular. Just noticing all the sounds here, becoming aware of them, and just listening really deeply in a way that you can hear the rhythm, the volume, the pitch of the sound without getting carried away in the story of the sound of what might be, what might not be, what might mean. Just allowing sound to embrace you in this way, bringing you to this moment. And if you're using noise canceling headsets, maybe there's little chance with sound here. Maybe you can't hear anything right now. So just noticing silence, becoming curious about this silence. And again, every time you catch the mind telling a story about the sound or distracted, smile, bringing your attention right back to just listening, practicing an attitudinal foundation here, which is patience. Again and again, coming back to this moment through sound. And now, as you sit here, maybe just even noticing if there is any sense where you're in. Can you smell anything? The sense of smell. And again, sometimes we can't really sense smell when we've been in a room for a while. It just seems all the same. It's almost like getting used to everything. But just becoming curious, just noticing, and we tend to more pay attention to the unpleasantness of sense sometimes. Just noticing what's here. And is there any particular taste in the mouth right now? Maybe you just brushed your teeth. Maybe you ate something spicy or really tasty, or maybe not so tasty, and there's something still lingering in here. So just noticing what's the overall taste here. This is part of your moment. This is your experience in the moment. So, as we come to the end of this practice, and if your eyes were closed, and I invite you to really gently open your eyes and now noticing what you see, even past the screen, past the text, whatever it is, just noticing what you can see. Engaging, seeing in the moment. What's here? This can always bring you to the moment. So just becoming aware of that. And at your own pace, maybe allowing the body to just really gently move, stretch a little bit. So isn't it interesting that it is these little micro moments that are important? So if I could leave you with anything, it would be to simply pay attention to the micro moments, because it is these micro moments that count. So I wanted to thank you so much for practicing with me, and perhaps I can invite you for this week to really have a sense of being there every time you arrive to a moment, just noticing what's here. Where are my feet? How do they feel? What am I seeing? What am I smelling? This is really the experience. So this is about being present in the moment and valuing this moment exactly as it is. Because often we only put value at the end of the road, right? If we're driving somewhere, I don't see the value in the drive. I see the value when I get there. I see the value at the end result, right? If I get this, if I get that, as I was saying with this hedonic treadmill even. And so really coming back to this moment in this way could be really, really important. So I really wanted to thank you for being here and for sharing this time together as we continue exploring and meditating in this way. Thank you. So you can follow me on my profile to see when I come live again. And I love to see you again. But until then, may you be well, healthy, and present. See you soon again.